We call the meeting to order. We do have a quorum. Is there any public comment before we get started? Okay. Entertain a motion on the minutes.
Motion to accept the minutes.
Second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Aaron?
Yeah, so audit was released, I don't know, close to a month ago, I guess. And there were only 2 findings, which the goal is always none, but there were 2. And one of them pertained to the Register of Deeds and one to the Sheriff's Department, so they're here. And the auditors will talk about the findings as far as the standard audit stuff, unqualified opinion, which is what you want. I thought everything, all in all, went really well. I did not, and I should have, and I can do that real quick, print out a copy of the findings for everybody. I don't know where my head was on that one. So we could also, hold on a minute. Let me take care of that real quick. It won't take but a second. You actually brought them?
Yes, I did.
Do you want me to go make copies? I'm like
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, over.
Okay,
Take
mine are
copies over
real
real quick. I
okay.
should have done that. Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.
I didn't think about it till just this minute. It's like I always make copies of the findings and bring them.
I'm sure you can.
Well, this afternoon, unfortunately, was a doctor's appointment. Makes for good televisions.
That's right.
Is it record?
The
Is it recording?
suspense.
I would assume so.
Does it not make any different colors than it was?
Yeah.
You want? I like the silence in the elevator.
Yes.
Even though while on vacation, just about every elevator, everybody was talking.
Yeah.
Maybe because I started it.
Are you auditors, are y'all from Nashville?
I am.
Yeah, we're from the Nashville office, so.
Okay. I was just wondering how local you actually are, so that's pretty local. That was in the second.
Yes.
All 4 of y'all from the Nashville office?
We all work in the Nashville, but we all live in different cities, yeah. I live in Lincoln County.
That's pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, Bailey has the longest drive, I think, is what I've gathered.
No, I think
Come on in.
Sherry's
No,
got
Sherry
the
does.
Sherry does?
Yeah.
What?
It's
About half an hour.
Mr. Barnaby? In
Well, we
here?
got audit meeting.
Okay, I know we have an audit meeting,
Yeah.
I'm just making sure that our candidate's not in the right
No,
place.
no.
Unless,
Okay, that's all I need.
do one of y'all want to be the judicial director?
That's a long
You okay?
drive, I'm
I don't think so.
They'll still work remote some.
Yeah, we do some, yeah.
You're on Lincoln County.
What?
You're on Lincoln.
I think.
No, this is,
Andy, you on judicial?
this is one time we didn't have any members on both committees. Thank you, Simon.
Okay, pass the rest of these out. Anybody want a copy?
Did John make a copy of it?
I mean, I think we're okay.
Thank you, Lisa and Sandra, for bailing me out on that one. So the first one had to do with the Register of Deeds, and was In fact, I'd rather have Sherry and them talk about what the nature of the finding was than me talk about it, if y'all don't mind.
As in the heading, it's cash overdraft of $112,000 existed in the office of the Register of Deeds at June 30th. And I think it was more so, there was an ACH that hadn't hit the bank account for credit card payments.
No, ma'am, that's not correct. It was a deed, a $52 million deed that happened on the last day of the quarter and the last day of the fiscal year, June 28th. At 4 o'clock when we closed the doors, all of our e-file ACHs start coming into the bank. And if Mr. John Lancaster was here, he could tell you he was never at an overdraft. The wire transfers are money in transit. It hit the bank. Just at 4 o'clock, we might have looked at it like a deficit because $52 million deed collected $195,000 worth of taxes. So, in explanation of that, we have done this protocol since 1980. We have done e-files. We've always done this protocol and never have happened. Matter of fact, this was in June of 24. January of 24, it happened and Mr. Furman did the books and he never wrote that up because he understood how we worked. Miss Bailey was the one conducting the audit at this time. And I tried to explain that situation because all registers conduct business the same way. But when I asked her how would she prefer we do the books, she had no recommendation. So, going forward, we were never at a deficit, ever. Overdraft, never. It's money in transit after 4 o'clock hitting the bank. And so, going forward, the new protocol that I put into place is to close the books at, close the books at 4 o'clock, post the credit cards. The next working business day, first thing is I get there at 6, I move the wire transfers over to the journal, write the state check, excess fee to the county, and the DP check. I first make sure all the ACHs have hit the cash journal in order for this never to happen again. But like I say, we did it since 1986. And, you know, now we're coming to a time where big money's hitting. $52 million deed, who sees that? Not very often. But I can say we had one last month, so the same scenario would have done again. So I had to make an adjustment and not do the money till the next working business day when the ACH hit the bank. Like I say, it was never an overdraft or a deficit. It's just, and Miss Bailey well no, it was your other lady that was with you, suggested that we would have the e-file vendors transfer the money after each document was recorded. Well, my Lord, we might have 200 in a day, and the bank is not going to do 200 deposits in one day, so they lump them. We have CSC, Simplifile, Indicom, EPN, IRS, and BIS. 6 vendors who lump sum their documents and wire it to us after 4 o'clock. Can I change protocols from what we used to do for years? I did. It should not ever happen again, but if it does, I don't know what else to do.
And I think our issue was that there had been receipts issued without the money being in the bank. So the receipts were issued on June 28th.
Check was wrote, but never sent
And then
till the 4th of the
July
next
the
day.
1st is when the money actually hit the bank.
Which, that's how we
And that's-
have done that since 1986.
And it wasn't a cash overdraft in your bank account, but on your accounting records at year end.
On paper till at 4 o'clock. Then after 4 o'clock, yeah.
Well, after July 1, it was.
So, does everybody understand that? I know it's a little bit much, but I don't transfer the money till 6 o'clock, and Mr. John, if he was here, he can explain, because I know I've talked to him about it, and he looked at our bank account. Can I have vendors send the money immediately? No, I can't do that. Even the bank's not gonna want 200 deposits in one day. I mean, that's just a little bit much, but, and plus, if they had done that, and we had to void one off the system, then it's gonna be money like this, so, going forward, like I said, we'll close the books at 4, post the credit card fees. Next working business day, we will write the state check, excess fee to the county, DP fee to the county, and go forward.
So that should take care of all that, so it wouldn't happen again. Thank you, Bud.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you don't understand, I'll break it down,
I understand.
show you the books.
The second one was Office of the Sheriff. Again, we'll let Sherry and them go over the finding, and Lance Allen, BJ Stafford are here to represent the Sheriff Department.
Okay, so the annual financial report did not properly reflect the operations of the office. And so I think what was happening prior was it was the fees that were collected, like for warrants and things of that nature. But as far as like the seizure money, the,
SOR.
yes, the sexual offender registry money, those things were not being reflected on the annual financial report to say, this is how much money we took in receipts, and this is how much money we dispersed out to the trustee or.
Looks fine.
I'm just gonna make a really short response. I won't get off in the weeds with it. We've been doing, don't be ignorant to the law, but we were unaware that that had to be done that way. We've been doing that way for, I know, since 1996. No findings up to this point. We've corrected it. We did a proper response to the comptroller. Matter of fact, we met with Audit today, and we went over how we started doing it to try to correct it. I believe we're on the right track, and I believe we identified one thing that we do need to fix and correct, and we're going to correct that going forward. And so it does involve cash bonds, sex offender registry, and the drug fund. And I'll tell you that all funds, there's no missing money. All funds were deposited directly with the trustee. But from this point on, we will run all money through our cash journal, through our local checking account, then disperse it to the trustee, instead of doing it as we seized it or took the money. So that's where we are.
Good.
That's it. There's always the best practice in there about a central system of accounting, budgeting, and purchasing, which is unlikely to ever actually happen. Nor do I necessarily agree with that being the best practice, but it is. It will always be there.
I'd like to compliment both of y'all for taking the corrective action needed. It's good to see that.
Well, I'll tell you, I've emailed all commissioners and explained.
Yes, ma'am.
I've been on Coleman and explained. I want it very transparent. Of course, Mr. Maynard knows, and I spoke with Mike Jennings and Reynold Huddup. So I tried to cover my bases, be very transparent about everything. But, you know, just the other day we had another huge document, and we're going to start seeing a whole lot more of these large documents. And so next working business day after closing is when I will move that money over, and we should be good unless something happened with an ACH deposit.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have anything else with the state? There's no other old business on the agenda. Any new business?
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.